Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's follow-up Fridays and I'm following up on the first impressions that I did on the Soap&Glory's One Heck of a Blot foundation. If you guys haven't seen my first impression, I will link it up in this corner right here and you can go ahead and watch that and see what my initial first impression was of this foundation. I have been trying this out for a full week and I've been trying it with a ton of different products, and let's just go ahead and get into the review. As far as I know, Soap&Glory has mostly been talked about for their body products, like their lotions, their body sprays, and stuff like that. I've never really heard a lot of people do reviews on their makeup line. I've heard of two other YouTubers talk about this foundation. One of the YouTubers swears by it and the other YouTuber despises it. So I just wanted to pick it up and see what I thought about it on my own, my kind of own opinions with it, trying it out with all kinds of different things. I like to do these kinds of videos because first impressions I feel like aren't very accurate reviewing foundations, because our skin changes from day to day and also our products change from day to day. Well, I know my products change from day to day. I don't use the same products usually throughout the week. I like to switch it up a lot of the times. So I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know my full experience with this foundation. As you guys know, I do have very oily skin. Just generally my whole face is really oily. I don't really have combination skin. During the winter times, I do get a couple of dry patches like around the corners of my mouth and then kind of like in my nose creases. But as of lately, my skin has been pretty normal. I haven't been too oily. The last couple of days I have been. But I have to tell you guys, this is my favorite foundation for oil control, and I can say that very confidently. I'm wearing the foundation right now. It is one of my new favorite foundations. There's really nothing bad I can say about this. I will say that I did try the foundation without a primer like I had mentioned in my first impressions, but I didn't really care for it that way. I felt like using a smoothing primer with this blur technology that it has on top of it really makes your skin look smooth and airbrushed. So for my personal preference, I really like to go in with a smoothing primer. Sometimes, depending on what the finish of the foundation is, I will go in with like a mattifying primer, but I did not need to do that with this one. This is matte. It keeps my face matte for up to almost 8 hours. And when my oils start to break through the foundation just a little bit, it does not look greasy. It kind of looks like very skin-like, very, not dewy. I don't want to say very dewy. It's more of like a satin kind of finish. There were a couple of days where I just did not blot, I didn't touch up, and this foundation wore very beautifully. I feel like it does last for a very long time. I did not test the claim where it said, I think it says it lasts for like 12 hours, and I did not test that claim. The longest that I usually wear my foundations is anywhere from about 6 to 8 hours. It just remains so flawless that I have no complaints about this. I've tried it with all types of smoothing primers, drugstore and high-end, and I've had no problems with it. My favorite primer though to use this foundation with is the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. It comes in a little jar. I freaking love that primer with this foundation. I feel like it does give you a Photoshop finish. It really just, it looks so immaculate. I've been setting it with one setting spray this whole time, which is the Ofra Makeup Fixer, and I feel like it does kind of boost the longevity of the wear, but after I set my makeup, I feel like it doesn't move around. That's one of the biggest things that I have problems with foundations, is that it starts to slip and slide around because of my oily skin, and I did not have any problems with that. 2 out of the 7 days that I've been using this foundation, I did set it with a powder. I feel like setting it isn't something that you necessarily have to do because this foundation sets really quickly and it stays very matte, and blending, you know, all your powder products on top of it after it sets, you have no, like, it doesn't make your bronzer or blush or contour patchy. It just glides on effortlessly. And after not setting my face, I don't feel like I get oily any quicker than I do with setting it. And setting my face, I haven't really noticed too much like you know, with it looking kind of cakey or anything after a certain amount of time, or like overly dry. But then also take in consideration that I do have very, very oily skin. Also, I would like to mention that this does not oxidize, which is something that I really appreciate. A lot of the times I have to go a little lighter with my foundation because I feel like with my really oily skin, a lot of foundations tend to oxidize a lot easier with my skin type. And this does not do that. It stays true to color, and I love the color that I got because I feel like it's more of a neutral kind of undertone. I do have really golden undertones, and it's sometimes hard to find something at the drugstore to fit my undertone. A lot of things lean more towards the cooler side, and it looks really pinky and gray on my skin, and I hate that. This foundation retails for $14, and you do get 1 fluid ounce of foundation. It takes me about a pump and a half to cover my entire face. I do prefer to use this with a damp beauty blender. I do not like it with a brush. I did try it with a brush a couple of times, different kinds of brushes, and I get the same result every time. Every time I use it with a brush, I get certain patches and stuff on my face, and it won't blend out because it sets so fast. So I would recommend using a damp beauty blender with this. If you have oily skin, you're going to love this foundation. I have had no problems with it wearing off, no problems with it creasing, no, you know, it doesn't settle into my pores, it doesn't settle into fine lines, and there's really nothing bad I have to say about this foundation. If you are a little more on the drier side, maybe between dry and normal, this could work for you. I'm not entirely sure because, like I said, I do have oily skin. I would suggest, if you really do want to try this foundation, to really hydrate your skin. You know, put on a really nice hydrating moisturizer and then go in with a hydrating primer, maybe like the Too Faced Hangover Primer or something along those lines. If you have huge pores or problems with fine lines, I would go ahead and go in with a smoothing primer after that. And then before applying this foundation, after you did all that hydration, I would spray my face with like a primer water or like a makeup setting spray. Just douse your face in it and then wait for that to kind of dry, and then go in with the foundation and a damp beauty blender. And also, if you have dry skin and you want to try this, I would not advise setting it with a powder because I feel like that's just going to emphasize all the dry patches, all the dry areas on your skin. It just would look really terrible. And then after you're done applying your makeup, just apply a generous amount of setting spray. It might work, it might not. Don't take my word for it. Just if I had really dry skin, that's what I would do. I am by no means a professional at figuring out foundations for different skin types, but I know what works for me. I know my skin type, and I know a lot of you guys have the same skin issues that I do. So I really love this foundation. I feel like it's super affordable, and right now you can get Soap&Glory in Walgreens or on Walgreens website, so that's really nice. And Ulta also always has sales. They usually have buy one get one half off. I believe last week when I posted my video for my first impressions, they did have a buy one get one half off. Right now, I don't know if that special is still going on. I hope this review helped you out a little bit in wondering if you should try this foundation or not. I really love it myself personally, but everybody's different. Everybody has different skin issues, and I just know what works for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope I helped you out a little, and if you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I do upload 2 to 3 videos every week, and I would love for you guys to join my YouTube family. So I hope you guys have a really awesome day, and I will see you on the next one.